Oh my god, dude.
Yes!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yes!
What did you really just do?
Yeah!
You're nuts.
How did I win?
You're
How did I
nuts.
win?
Let's go!
No, brother.
Let's go! I'm running around the house! I'm running around the house! I'm too good! Keep it!
Good calls, good bravery.
Whoa!
I'm so mad.
Back up. Play safe.
Oh no, Rudy!
Am I muted? Okay.
Oh no, Rudy!
I'm sending LOL GG. And I'm blocking him.
Rudy, the gas station!
Look at this thing on us! This thing on us right here!
Welcome to the Quackdown, episode 8. I'm Tyler,
This is Rudy.
I'm Fernando.
and let's get right into it. Anybody got anything mean to say? Because I got a bone to pick with Quentin Tarantino.
Is
Okay.
it because of the book?
No, it's
And we
'cause
know
of-
he's listening.
Yeah, no. Regular listener. He's reached out to me on multiple occasions. I go, hey, Quint, what gives? No, he's been making this. He's been writing his final movie because
Right.
he for whatever
yeah.
reason limited himself to 10 movies.
Right.
And just recently he was like, "Nah, that's not my final movie." Not like that. That's not like he's gonna make more. He's just not gonna release that movie he's been working on for like 4 years
Mm-hmm.
because he's like, he's trying to make a movie that like caps off his career.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, just your movies, your career is not defined by one movie at the end. Just-
yes and no. I agree with you that like he shouldn't be defined by his final movie, but like I watched a podcast with him not too long ago where like he sees it as that, where he sees
know.
like I think he brought up the example of M. Night Shyamalan doing Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, I don't want that. He goes, I've been lucky enough to put in the work that I had with his other movies where they're widely renowned as really good movies. So he doesn't want to have a miss. And if he thinks that that one could be a miss by a certain amount of people, he goes, I just don't want that on my record. Where he wants to go out and like, I kind of got to give him some respect that he's thinking this far in advance where, like, he wants his record to be, I never missed.
Yeah.
So that's a little pretentious, but then again,
It's
like,
very pretentious. Like that's
but that's also giving respect to the viewer as well, where he goes, if a lot of people aren't going to like this movie, I'm just not going to put out the movie because he wants the majority of his viewers to like the movie.
But
So
I
it's
think-
it's both pretentious and respectful to the viewer.
I just hope that he's not delaying the movie. Well, I should say that him delaying it, I hope it's not like driving him insane. Like,
see
it
that's
probably is.
that's what I'm thinking is like the amount of stress that he's added to his own plate.
because
by
the
being like-
longer that goes on, the higher the chance we'll
Yeah.
just never see the movie.
and it's like I think about like Scorsese. Like if Scorsese had stopped at 10, we would have missed out on a lot of great movies. And I just think about Tarantino. He's still, for like a filmmaker, for a director, he's still pretty young.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm like, why stop? Like, I get the idea of like having a perfect career. He doesn't even have a perfect career. He's had a couple not so great movies here and there.
That's for you personally, though. He views them as all winners.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, I just don't. I think the him limiting himself
At the
is
end of the
stupid.
day, the general audience will judge his final movie no matter how he sees it. So
Yeah.
by that perspective, you could argue just put it out.
Like it almost kind of made me lose a little respect for him when he's just like, I have this idea. It could be a good movie, like a really, really good movie, but it's not as good as my final movie should be. So he just scraps it. And I'm like,
Did he actually scrap it? Or
Yeah,
he's
no,
just...
he's starting completely fresh.
Really?
Yeah, it was supposed to be called like The Movie Critic, and it was supposed to be a love letter to Hollywood kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then what he said is eventually it ended up turning into like a prequel / sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Brad Pitt coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was where he was like, what? But like he's never really made a sequel before.
Well, that's up to his prerogative, though, to do
I know.
what he wants. Because, like, you could argue the same thing with, like, a person that has a show idea, and he goes, I know the beginning and I know the end.
But how do we get there?
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's kind of what he's going through. He probably had in his mind the whole time that he only wanted to do 10, and he just wanted to do 10, in his mind, great movies. So, like, if he wants to do that, then that's his choice. It's not, because he's definitely not a person that is going to, like, oh, the audience wants more. Well, no, I kind of want. He's not going to really listen to going, like, he's not going to get baited into making more movies if he doesn't want to.
Because it genuinely feels like as he's gone on, his love of making movies has gone up, obviously.
Mhm.
And that even, it really feels like he set this 10 movie limit early on in his career. Because he was like, whatever was going on in his head. And now it's like, he's holding himself to like what his past self wanted.
Like, just break the rule.
Just break the rule.
It's not
like,
set in stone.
I think it'd be more important for him to get to a point where he's like, all my ideas are done. Like, I am ideaed out versus him spending so much time on his 10th movie because he set himself at that limit.
Yeah.
When he, obviously, like, because he has one film that, like, he did completely, had a full idea for it, and then gave up on it and moved on to something else, like, he has ideas for years.
Well,
So-
doesn't he want to make those books, though? Because didn't he just write a book? And,
The Once Upon a Time,
well, no, I think he wrote a different book than that.
I have no idea.
And he wants to, because, like,
He wants to be an author.
I agree with you that he is pretty much just limiting himself.
Mhm.
But, like, I'm sure he's thought about that. Like, maybe I should make more, or maybe I just, in a very pretentious way, he doesn't want to run the risk of having a failure movie. So, like,
But, like,
if
who cares if you have a failure movie? Like, it's,
well, he does.
like, Wes Anderson is still regarded as, like, one of the best filmmakers ever. He's had some stinkers.
Yeah. And
Like,
it's easy to say like who cares, but for when it's something that you're creating and you're throwing it out there for the whole world to see, like I can only imagine that is just such a weight on your shoulders that you don't even want to risk the chance. And of course, there's always that chance of people thinking this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
well, like, you don't like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
You don't
It's
like
not
it?
like I don't like it. I just don't think it should be renowned as such a good movie that it is. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird movie to me. I like other Tarantino movies, but just that one is like, I just don't get the hype around it. It's not like one of the greatest movies ever. It's just,
No.
it's a movie.
I
It's
think
entertaining.
That one was written as a love letter to Hollywood, the physical space. And that's like, if you don't really connect with like how Hollywood used to be physically, then it's kind of like for 90% of the movie, it's like whatever. Like, you're just kind of like,
The magic's not there.
yeah,
for it.
for you, like seeing, like one of my favorite scenes in that movie is it's like early on in the movie and you see them turning on downtown Hollywood where like all the cinema lights come on and they're like, it's the 70s. It's
Right.
like, it's just such a cool feeling to see. And it's all like, it's all manually turned on. It's all manually operated. There's none of this like lights come on, lights come off at sunset, sunrise. It's a real good, like, wow, this is what it used to be.
It's like seeing like the routine of it all.
It's true. Like, you can see in that moment how much Tarantino cares about preserving everything that was. And that's why I love the movie. But like, if you don't connect with that a lot, then a lot of it's just kind of like boring nonsense until the end when it just ramps up to like 11 out of nowhere. Like, that last 10 minutes, the whole movie is set up.
Did we see that together in theaters?
Yes.
Because I think when the flamethrower got brought out, I think
No.
I gasped.
That's a real scene though, because doesn't he say like, "Hey, can we do something about that heat?"
Yeah.
That's not a part of the actual script. He literally goes, "Hey, this is too. Can we do something about this?"
Dude,
And they're like, "Just keep going, keep
off
going."
camera, you hear the director go, "It's a flamethrower, Rick." He goes, "Yeah, but come on."
What a cold fire.
No, like everything. I also love that movie because the payoff of every little tiny bit of setup they have is felt in that 10 minutes. You have the payoff of like the Manson trickling throughout the movie, the payoff of the acid dipped cigarette that
Oh,
he
that's
keeps for
right.
years, the payoff of like his dog being a badass, his dog food cans being so fucking massive.
Oh my god.
The flamethrower, the him floating in the pool. It's all just like realized in that moment. And that's why I love it, because it's like it's one of those where he definitely created that final scene and then was like, I'm gonna
Plant the seeds here
plant
and
the
there.
seeds for 2 hours.
Well, see, that goes along with him just limiting himself to a certain amount of movies because he wants to be able to put all that effort into
one.
making a good movie. And if he already feels like he's not going to be able to do that by just continuing on movies, then like for him it's not worth it, and for viewers it's not going to be worth it as well. So 10 is also still, I agree, it's a low number, especially for a director like him.
Yeah.
But I mean, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do, and we should just appreciate that in general. Even though we definitely feel like we could miss out on some future good, like, well, that could be another thing too. Is he said he was going to make 10, and then in a few years down the road, he goes, "Oh, but I have this awesome idea. You know what? I'm going to make another one."
But that
And
still
just
would
like-
it would diminish the value of that 10th movie. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Where if he
True,
he
but
goes,
if he gets a better idea,
well, I know, but if he goes 10 movies is what I'm
Like if
limiting
he's
myself
put
to,
if he's gonna
and
put so
he's-
much emphasis on that 10 rule,
and he's thrown out other movies in favor of whatever that 10th movie was, and then he comes back later and he's like, I had this cool idea, JK, LOL, I'm back for 11. It feels not genuine. Like it feels like everything that he like came out about was like fake. Like if he comes out later.
in a
That's-
way, but
I don't know.
if he thinks about the idea later on, like if it's not the movie he scrapped, if it's a completely different idea and he just goes, "I have to make this,"
right?
that's genuine.
Like fucking Hayao Miyazaki with all the Ghibli movies. Like he always says, "This is my last one. I'm gonna retire," and then he comes back out like, "You know what? I got another story to tell," and no one's just like, "You said that was
Well,
your last one."
if
I
it's
think-
worth it to him, it's
I-
gonna be worth it to us.
and every single
that
time
I
it
would
was.
feel like is different because he's just like, I'm retiring after this one. And then he comes back and he's like, hey, I actually had another cool idea. I'd like to present it to the public. Whereas Tarantino's like 10 movies. It's 10.
So you're saying
It's
because of how
10.
much emphasis
Yes.
is put on it, he can't go back
if
from
he
that.
was just like, this is my last movie and hadn't been saying for years 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Yeah.
And then later he was like, all right, I did have another good idea. I thought I was done here. It's different. It's because of the emphasis on the 10.
I
It's
see-
But
the
would you-
numbers.
but would
Well,
you-
It's
hold
the
on.
math.
I see
But
what
would you hate that movie if he were to come out
No,
with an
but,
11?
Well, right,
it,
I
it
see-
just it's the ingenuine. Like he's always seemed like a very genuine
It's-
filmmaker.
Oh, but hold on though. You're portraying it as he's just gonna be like, "Yeah, I had this other idea. Let's just make it." That's probably not what he's gonna do.
Well, yeah, no,
he's
I
gonna
know.
be like, I know I limited myself to 10. I had this other idea, and I can't not make it.
I
you
feel
know?
like it would
I
be more
can't-
like a change of heart type of thing.
Right.
Like, you know
he
what?
goes,
Like,
I have this idea.
fuck it.
I'm not gonna give it to another director. It's gotta be me. I gotta see this vision come to reality. So it's not gonna be like, oh yeah, I just had this other idea. It's gonna
Well,
be
he's thrown out 2 movies on his path. Because it's the movie critic and then his Star Trek movie.
yeah, Star Trek movie.
He was gonna do. They fully approved and gave him the budget for an R-rated Star Trek movie.
Oh, wow.
What happened there?
It was gonna be his 10th movie, so he had the script done.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it was gonna be Chris Pine still. It was gonna be
Wow.
in that
oh,
universe.
that would have been so good.
And-
That would have been so good.
He was like, "This is my 10th movie. I can't have it be this," and so he gave up. Wow. Like they were the studio was ready to fund it. They were ready to like kind of give him whatever he wants.
But no
'cause-
filming
yeah.
actually happened.
But I also think that's going back to like the M. Night Shyamalan thing. The reason Shyamalan failed is he's so well. You could argue anymore. Who knows where he's at? But he's so good with original ideas, like ideas that he came up with. When it comes to adapting stuff, he's not that great.
Has he Has he done anything else?
Knock
besides that?
at the Cabin. That was adapted from a book.
Oh.
It's an okay movie, but it could have been better.
It seemed like, besides paying the actors what they needed to get paid, it seemed like it could have been made with like $100,000.
Very small budget.
Yeah,
Like-
extremely.
like, I feel
it's
like
crazy.
I almost feel like it could have been a better movie if they used not necessarily name brand actors. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
they didn't have Batista,
They didn't
and
need
all
the
other
big, those
people,
big people. Yeah,
They could have easily made it for.
because it's a decent story, and especially if you
it's a
keep it
cool-
enclosed with just a few sets and stuff
It's
like that.
very similar to Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah,
It's the same vibes where it's like crazy people telling you the world is ending. They're crazy for sure, but you also don't know if the world is actually ending.
right.
Oh,
And that's essentially the
Even
plot.
as the
the
viewer,
mystery.
you don't even really see
No,
that.
you see nothing about like the world ending,
Yeah, it's just going based off of their word.
which is I love that because that's like how much do you trust just humans?
That was semi-similar with the new movie on Netflix with
Pena,
no, it's brand new.
Adam Sandler.
No,
I don't know.
with the Mahershala Ali.
I didn't know he
You
was
don't
in
know
a
what
new
I'm talking
movie.
about?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's in a movie with it's another big actor. It's a big woman actress, and there's another big. You guys didn't see this? I could have
No.
sworn I talked to you about this.
Netflix doesn't promote anything, dude, except for their big things. Like they have obviously a movie with Mahershala Ali.
This was a big movie that was talked about. Maybe not on Netflix side, but a lot of people talked about this movie.
Let's see. Keep talking. I'll look it up.
It's like it's the same thing. Like maybe not necessarily the world is ending, but some crazy shit is going on in the U.S.
Oh, with Oh my god.
Has a really big
were-
Oh my God.
female
No,
actor.
I know. It's oh god. It has another really big actor too.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon's in it for a
That's-
very
yep.
small amount.
Leave the World Behind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has
Oh, I
Ethan
did
Hawke
hear about this.
and
Yeah, Ethan
Julia
Hawke, yeah.
Roberts
That's right.
and Denzel. Is Denzel Washington in it?
no,
Why is Google telling me Denzel Washington is?
I don't think he is.
That's another thing, real quick. You know how when you Google a movie and like Google shows you the cast list,
Yeah,
90% of the time, 50% of those are just wrong.
I don't know if it's that big of a percentage, but there's definitely a lot of times where they are just random actors thrown in there. I
Like-
don't know if it's 90% of the time.
No, it shows, and it's more with like movies that have sequels.
Oh yeah,
They
'cause
like
for
they
sure.
don't differentiate.
For
like-
sure.
like
yes.
like Dune 2. They
Yeah.
say Oscar
Oscar
Isaac's
Isaac.
in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, he's not.
Ted, yes and no, because they just show a picture of him.
But
like-
He's sitting there with a $10,000 check.
Yeah. Sweet. It wasn't even me. It was a painting of me.
It wasn't me. It was my brother. No, that movie I heard was iffy, just because of the ending.
There's good and bad parts. The ending sucked, low key. In my opinion, the ending's not good, but the rest of the movie is decent. There's a few parts here and there where you're like, what the fuck is this? And you don't really get a payoff of that. But the story, the interaction between Mahershala Ali and his daughter, and then Ethan Hawke and who's the female lead?
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. The interaction between their families is
Well,
pretty
they're all
decent.
really good actors and actresses.
Is pretty decent, and like it's the same thing where like they have an essence of, like I said, maybe not the world ending, but some big shit is happening
Yeah.
in the US, and like they're stuck in this house together, and it's a decent movie, but I don't know if it's ever gonna get a sequel or anything because they left it very wide open.
I think that's Netflix's. We kind of talked about this. That's Netflix's biggest issue right now, is they fund these movies, these shows that are definitely meant for sequels or second seasons or
Yeah.
third seasons,
But they don't happen.
but they don't fund the rest of them.
Oh.
So they say, all right, shoot into the dark. If this works, people like it, watch it, cool. We'll fund the next one. If they don't, the people, like if not enough people watch it, the people that did are just screwed.
Yeah.
They're left on cliffhanger after cliffhanger after cliffhanger. And it's such a big issue with Netflix.
That's what happened with Space Force.
Space Force.
Because it's fun. It has Steve Carell, John Malkovich.
And I like that they gave
Oh,
it
did I get canned?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I like that
It
they
was
gave
good.
it a
It was
second
fun.
season. Because the first season was rocky. It wasn't as good as it could have been.
I guess.
The second season is much better.
But it's funny.
But
It's entertaining.
yeah.
It has a decent storyline. And then they go, oh, half of America didn't watch it? Just fucking take it off. It's good. It's fun.
It
It doesn't have there's no way it has a big budget.
the biggest thing with streaming, and I think a lot of streaming shows have a bigger budget than they would have if it was just on normal TV, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest issue with streaming is they're trying to make like HBO level content for every single show. Like every show kind of has that this is filmed like a movie vibe now. Instead of like nobody's doing like The Office, Modern Family, like these shows that are lower
Yeah.
budget, they can just run them real quick.
Have you checked out Sugar
Oh,
on
I
Apple
haven't.
TV?
With
Colin Farrell?
Colin Farrell, no.
I checked out the first episode, and very much like this feels like more of a movie than it does
Yeah.
like a
That's
show.
that's most of Apple TV stuff.
Yeah.
Like with the exception of Ted Lasso, the majority of the Apple TV content is like long form movies.
Yeah. Like Severance.
Yeah. Well,
Severance, Silo, the Jason Momoa show.
Silo, I can't agree with. Well, Foundation is really.
Foundation's it's a HBO show. That's what it feels like.
It's like Game of Thronesy though,
Yeah.
which is HBO.
Yeah.
But like, you get a lot of information in every single episode, and it's, in my opinion, it's pretty fast paced.
Yeah.
Because it can go throughout literally hundreds of years, with you still recognizing a few key characters and stuff like that. I really like Foundation.
It's good.
It's
There's a VR
really
game on the
good.
Quest.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Don't know what it's about. The only VR game that I'm like really, really interested in is the Peaky Blinders one.
But like, why?
What would that be? One
Are you just
mission is
in
like
are you just in a pub just
Yeah.
starting fights?
I think you're like a part of the organization.
it's the first season. That's only the first
Yeah.
season. They didn't do a lot more shit than just that.
Mr. Shelby.
Uh-oh.
What?
I knocked your water bottle over.
You son of a bitch.
That's another show that like
What?
it's been on too long of a pause.
Blinders?
Well, they have
Well,
a
I mean,
reason.
they had
mean-
an actress die,
Yeah.
which scrapped the whole plot of the season. They had to rewrite that, and then
she was also going to be a big part of the movie,
like
which now is still up in the air.
No, they're filming this.
no,
year.
they
Oh, that it's
Yeah.
been confirmed now.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
just the
And I
last
think
thing I
they're
saw.
doing two.
The last thing I
That was
saw
new to me.
of what's his name, of Thomas, Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
He was like, I hope it gets made, and like
yeah.
I felt like that was very recent. But if they greenlit it, then good. Like I would really like to see that.
You'd think now, especially like they start promoting the movie, the show will get a lot more viewership because of how much like critical acclaim and like widespread
Oh, well, that show
Killian
still.
is now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that show still has a cult following.
It does,
Like,
but
it's-
like I think it can grow to new heights because of Killian and like
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
how much he's done.
It's one of his best roles.
yeah.
100%.
Is him in that show.
And he looks so natural in that
Yeah.
role too. It's so good.
That scene where it's him and Polly going into the into like the orphanage with like the nun. You know what scene I'm talking about? They found out that the nuns were like abusing the kids.
Oh yeah.
And just when he like takes her glasses off and just like smashes them, like put them on. It's like, how do you see the world? You see the world broken.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Dude, he's such a badass. He's such a
The way
badass.
he delivers that line.
And I love how he's not just like a brute force type of gangster. He's very methodical
Yeah.
in his movements, and that's incredible.
like when you see him quiet is when I'm most scared.
Is terrifying.
Yeah.
Because you know his mind is just going a million miles an hour, thinking about every scenario.
And the best part about that show is it's always the season finale is that there's some plan.
Yeah.
And
That he hasn't told anybody.
Exactly. And you as the viewer, you're seeing it happen one step at a time.
Well, in that aspect, too, I really like it because he tells everybody a part of his major plan,
Yeah.
and they just melt together.
At the very end.
And, also, the people doing the plan, they're like, oh, my God, is this working? They're like, oh, you're doing that over there, too? Oh, what? It's so good, dude. It's such a good fucking show.
How much of the show did you watch? You watched all
No,
of it,
I
right?
finished it. Yeah,
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I have not finished it just because I'm stupid.
Well, and we were talking about this. You're kind of waiting for the movie to,
In a sense, yes.
because that's my biggest thing. Like if I had stopped at like season 4, with, all the cool shit that happens there,
Mhm.
I think I would have been okay. And like they could have ended it. At
Season 4 is the one with Adrian Brody.
Yeah,
I stopped.
think
I
they
watched like
coulda-
one episode of the next season. I was like, I should just
yeah, because
pause.
it's that final season is, in my opinion, the worst season of the show.
I can agree with that. And it's not bad.
It just seems like baffling decisions.
But the whole time of me watching it, like every episode, I'm like, how different would this have been if Polly was still here? Like, I really want to know what the original script was.
she became such a pillar of that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like at first she was a big character, but she wasn't really like a main attention seeker or grabber. But later on, you were like, oh, Polly's a fucking real one.
Yeah, and she was always like a point of reference for Shelby.
Yes.
Like she was that pillar of support for when it came to like a lot of decisions, and
Yes.
to lose that, yeah, that Thomas Shelby goes in through like a fucking spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
just speaking kind of sort of people leaving movies, 2 Marvel possible recastings. So like, Harrison Ford got
for
Red Hulk.
General
Or-
Ross.
Yeah, whatever.
opposite Shepherd.
There was so it's obviously really weird whenever there's a recasting done this late, especially because that actor was in not a lot of movies, but he showed up
Yeah.
enough to.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he was still a memorable face.
It wasn't like a roadie thing where it's like one movie and then it's done.
right.
Mhm.
But there was they did like a preview event for that where they just showed a scene of him talking to Captain America
Anthony
now.
Mackie, yeah.
Yeah, and Harrison Ford refused to grow the mustache.
So is it a fake one?
No,
No mustache.
no mustache.
Really?
And in the clip, he's talking to Rhodey, and he goes, or not Rhodey, Falcon,
yeah.
Cap, whatever. And Cap's like, I like you without the mustache. And he goes, my advisors told me you either lose the mustache or you lose the election. And I'm like, that's such a, like, when, who takes over for Rhodey? What's his name?
Takes over for Rhodey.
After Terrence Malick left. Terrence
Oh,
Howard.
Oh, I don't know
why
his
can't I- why
name.
can't I think of his
I
name?
can't think of his name.
Holy shit! Why can't I think of his name?
I know Anthony Mackie. Why don't I know his name? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He shows up in the courtroom, and it's the first time you see him, and Tony goes up to him. He's like, hey, how's it going? In Iron Man 2, and he goes, it's me. I'm here. Whatever. Get over it. Let's move on.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
his first line, and I love when they do those little winks to the audience, like, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know this is going to be weird for a movie. You'll get used to it. It'll be okay. But the reason I bring that up is, A, that casting, I like that they did that.
Mhm.
But I finished watching Fallout,
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
and one of the main characters in Fallout would be a perfect replacement for
Ross.
Jonathan Majors.
Oh, cool. Nice.
The perfect replacement.
Who is it?
Have you watched any of it?
Mm.
He's a brand new actor. He plays Maximus. If you want to look him up and show him. So the character's name is Maximus in the show. He's part of the Brotherhood of Steel, like the guys that wear the big armor.
Mm-hmm.
And in the show, like, you only see it a little bit here and there, but each character, the show is awesome, by the way. Like, if you haven't seen it, the show is awesome.
Yeah.
But he,
Okay.
first of all, looks like Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, he does.
And B, there's points in the show. He's not like very cangy the whole show, but there's points where you're like, all right, interesting. And the only other person I thought could possibly do it was the Gen V guy, like just of new actors. I thought he would have been.
He could have. The
good.
dude from who played In the Heart of They Fall with Jonathan
Lakeith
Majors.
Stanfield.
Yeah.
I would have loved
The
him.
quick draw.
Yeah.
He would have been
good.
really good.
He
could still be really good, to be
He's
honest.
such a
Because he's
good
young.
actor.
He's still
He's
really
very
young.
young. He's amazing in Atlanta, by the way.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
watch that show.
oh God, in Atlanta, he's just kind of. First of all, he's always high, like the whole show. Says the weirdest shit, and all of his little side adventures that he goes on, because there's so many episodes devoted to like what he does while everybody else does their shit, and that's where the
Like coach episodes from like Ted Lasso.
yeah, it really does feel like the Coach Beard episodes where it just kind of splits off. But there's the one episode where he goes and Gambino's in whiteface.
Oh, I've seen that clip.
And it's supposed to be like a Michael Jackson episode, but it's like a horror. Like it's scary. It's a weird, scary, like out of a comedy show about rappers. It's just like surreal.
What if that's how they replaced Kane with Robert Downey Jr. playing
Oh,
playing? That would be so funny. In the Kane Dynasty Avengers movie, he just unveils himself.
You know how they have Iron Man variants from every universe?
Yeah.
They need to have Robert Downey in blackface as an
That
Iron
would
Man
be
variant.
so fucking funny. That would be
Just
hilarious.
Under Disney's name, I think not.
It's Tony with an eye.
One of the Avengers just goes, "Why do you look familiar? Like, what's going on there?"
It's Anthony Mackie, like, no. They leave the universe.
It's still driving me nuts. I can't think of his name. Can you please look it up?
You have an easier device than I do.
It's yours is right there. You were already on Google. Rhodey, real name. I'm gonna hate myself for not knowing it.
Don Cheadle.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I don't know why I didn't
Wow.
know that.
Was
I
that,
know.
Yeah.
was that empty the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
next to Fernando. I couldn't get it back up there, and I didn't want him getting hit with another 15,000-pound weight.
Yep.
Yeah, he had to have surgery the last time. It was crazy.
Yep.
We
Had
dragged
a whole
him out
new
of
hand.
I should have gone with the pillow attachment.
hit him in the leg. He had to get a new hand. Can't eat.
Have you watched any more of Did you start Bly?
Yeah.
watch
I'm
it?
We were
at
talking
the-
about it a little bit.
I am at the part where what's his name mom dies. The cook's mom dies.
Oh yeah,
I just finished that episode.
I like them talking around the fire at the end.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that the wait? Is that the episode with the crack?
You mean the quack?
No.
With the crack?
Have you seen an episode that's devoted to a crack in the wall?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Okay.
I forgot about that.
Then I won't talk about that yet.
The cook. That's
Well,
what's his face's character, right? The sheriff.
Rahul Kohli.
Right, yeah.
I
Yes,
also
yes.
well, I think I've watched the next episode too, where you learn who the dude in the mirror is.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a good
yeah, yeah.
episode.
Oh, and
Yeah.
did you see that like story of like how that went down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
or why she gets such
finished.
anxiety from it?
Have you? So you haven't figured out
Well, I know he
died.
died. I don't know if I saw exactly
Like it
how
leads
he
directly
died.
up to how he dies.
I think that's like the end of the episode.
I think I watched most of the
Yeah.
episode. I just
'Cause
haven't
you-
watched
Oh,
that
okay.
part.
if
then
you
I won't
don't
say
know
it.
how he dies yet, then you haven't finished the episode.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I don't think so. I don't
Alright,
think
I
so.
won't say it.
Oh, you haven't even done the black and white episode yet, have you?
Oh.
Wow, that's a great one.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting one too. No, but his opinion kind of surprised me. First, you said it's weaker than Hill House, which is kind of everybody's vibes on it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
But then
weaker
you said,
as a show as a whole, or like in spooks.
No, he
as
said
a
it was
show.
scarier than
It's
Hill House.
it's definitely scarier than Hill House.
Blows my mind.
That does blow my mind.
How?
That's
There's so
insane
many
to me.
more scary points in Bly than there is in Hill House.
See, I thought you.
Don't agree with that.
Are you
I think-
serious?
Yeah.
You barely see the bent neck lady in Hill House. Like
Like, what do you think? Like, is it just the guy in the mirror just kind of showing up?
well, I hate that. That's one of my fears. I hate.
Just guys
hate,
in mirrors.
I hate that.
He cannot use a public
She
restroom.
sees. She sees the. She doesn't only see the guy in the mirror. She sees other. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily other ghosts. So because I still don't know if the Peter Quint guy is dead or alive yet.
I love that actor, dude.
I don't know if he's
The
dead or
fact
alive
that he
yet.
hasn't come back in one of the shows
insane
bugs me.
to me. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
I like him more in this role than Hill House.
And then the kids creep me the fuck out. Fuck that.
It's not scary. They're just weird.
No,
Yeah,
they
but
get a
fuck
little.
that. I
They get
like-
a little.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
the
I
girl
remember,
is
but-
the girl is fine. I think she's
The girl's
creepy.
the
boy
girl's
was
kind of
weird.
okay. The boy's
boy
hella
is-
creepy.
yeah.
But it's not
Which
But the
makes
girl,
sense.
but the girl clearly talks to other ghosts, and you're going, "What the fuck
Yeah.
is this?"
The dollhouse is terrifying.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
the
As soon as I
dollhouse.
saw that, I was like, "Fuck this!" And the
Especially when the girl panics that the Lady in the Lake doll is like out of where she should be.
yeah, she pits her the first time she sees that doll underneath the dresser. She pits her up. She goes, "Where does she go?" And she goes, "She stays there."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Oh, but no. In the hide and seek episode, where she's playing hide and seek with the kids.
Oh, and they trap her in the
The
closet?
kids in the I hate that. I hated that part. But no, the little girl is listening to that like ballerina toy thing that plays the music. And then something pops up behind her and making this weird ass noise, and she literally turns around and goes, "Shh."
Dude, that's one of my
Whoa!
favorite
I was
scenes.
like, whoa.
That's one of my favorite scenes. Anytime you see the kids like interacting with the ghosts of the house,
And they're not freaked out at all.
and they're just
I
like
hate
they're
that.
fine.
I hate that.
So I want to hear your opinion of it when you finish it, because
Yeah.
the ending and like how you learn about every ghost in that house.
Well, I was gonna say
and
they
it
have
takes
all
away
these.
some of the fear from
They
it.
have
Yeah.
all these like figurines throughout the house that you can see move constantly in the background.
You
I hate that. that
Honestly-
is not in Hill House.
So
There's so much less in Hill House than there is in Bly.
they definitely
It's the frequency of the thing,
I
which
think-
in my opinion is Bly is scarier just because of the frequency.
it's the atmosphere of Bly is held the same the whole time.
consistently.
You
yeah.
feel that kind of
In
eerie,
Hill,
eerie
in Hill
presence
House,
of something. Yeah.
in Hill House, I can take myself out of the scariness and just focus on the story.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple scary things that get thrown in here
Yeah.
and there. In Bly, it's constant.
Because I guess that's fair, because in Hill House, like, they're not always in
Hill
the
House.
house.
Yep.
Right.
Why you're there the whole time? There's
Right.
nowhere
And-
left to go.
in Hill House they're half always in the house because you have the kids' story from when
Yeah.
they live
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the balance comes from, is you do get they all survived this. You have that in the back of your head.
you
when
have
you're
that
watching the
safety
kids,
net.
and you're like, I see that. Well, I mean, obviously, almost everybody survives the
In a sense,
the
yeah.
younger story. Oops.
Well, one of my favorite parts of Hill House, even though it was scary learning about it, is the red door.
Yeah.
Learning what that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
That's such a good plot point in the story.
Like, obvious spoilers for like any of these. We might make slip ups. Just before we continue talking in this episode about anything else, all of these shows you have to go in blind as you can be,
Yeah.
because it enhances the story that much more.
Especially Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass is the story to go in blind.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I just watched, this is very random, but I watched Battleship yesterday. The father is in Battleship.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He plays a very goofy, nerdy character. It's really funny.
Which is what you expect from first
Because
glance.
I'm like, man, why does he look so familiar? And I looked him up. I go, that's not him. He plays such a different character, which just gives him more credit to how much of a diverse actor he can be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I need to see that guy in more things.
he got robbed not getting an Emmy for that role.
100%.
Not getting some sort of
Anything.
award for that role.
He got
is-
awards.
Oh,
on
did
the
he?
Side, just like not the mainstream.
Oh,
Like
not
no Golden
not
Globes.
ones to like catch him some extra
Yeah.
fame.
I mean, he's already like everybody knows he's a good actor.
Mhm.
But that role, holy cow, he dominates that show.
Yeah.
Nobody else comes close to him in that show. Like, everybody's acting really, really well. He
Well, maybe that
demolishes every
one
time.
creepy, like, super religious chick.
She's really good at
Yeah.
making you hate her.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
And
she
what's
is.
weird is because, and I think we talked about this before, she's just such a nice person in real life.
That's
The
what makes
switch.
some of those
Yeah.
best characters,
That's why I
though.
want you to watch Doctor
Like,
Sleep.
if they're so nice in real
Right.
life and then they play a character like that,
Oh, yeah.
it's really cool to see.
I still think he has. I still think he has to watch The Shining.
You've seen The Shining.
I thought you haven't.
I think so a long, long time ago, and I'm not watching.
I
Stuff like that. I try really hard to purge from my memory.
Because that one isn't. Because I rewatched it recently, like this past year, and it's other than the bathroom scene, it's really just
But-
psychological stuff.
I know, but The Shining I think is scarier to him because there's no way for them to fight back.
That's my main
Yeah.
part of horror
Whereas in
movies.
Doctor Sleep, they can fight back.
100%.
Like that's what I'm saying is like Doctor Sleep is the evolved version of The Shining where the boy is all grown up. He's learned ways to combat the ghosts and the demons and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And then the main villains are humans in a sense.
Yeah.
And I think it's just overall such a good story that it takes out the fear of what you are normally afraid of in like those movies. That's why I think you would love it. Not love it.
I will still say, yeah, at the end of the day, I think you are going to like that movie.
Yeah. It's
We'll see.
and Ewan
And
McGregor is
Phenomenal.
outstanding. It's the reason Flanagan did it is because the story is about Ewan McGregor. Like his role is recovering. He's a recovering alcoholic. Mike Flanagan was also a recovering alcoholic. Stephen King is also a recovering alcoholic. They all Ewan McGregor is a recovering alcoholic. So it's all these it was such a personal story.
Hmm.
And it's honestly borderline more about addiction than anything.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's
Both in Doctor Sleep and The Shining, my favorite scenes in both movies
are the bar scenes.
The bar scenes.
Yeah.
They're so good.
It's eerie, but you're just chilling.
That's exactly it. Like you're. I think I especially like the Jack Nicholson one, but to see it come full circle in Doctor Sleep was cool.
It's like the scenes in Midnight Mass where it's hit the Riley and
The father.
Pruitt just talking in the gymnasium. You know what I'm talking about when he's like, you don't have to go to the mainland if you don't want to for your AA sessions. I can do them here.
Oh, yeah.
And they sit and talk and write. Oh, I love those. Are good monologues. Those
Mhm.
are really good monologues because they make sense in the context.
Mm-hmm.
But the lemons.
The lemons is so fucking good, dude. You haven't started Usher yet, right?
No.
It's in episode 3.
Yeah,
That
I need
monologue.
you to start Usher. I need you to finish Bly and move on to Usher.
How many episodes are in Bly?
10.
Is it 10?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm on 4 or 5.
Oh yeah, you got. Yeah, your
I
opinion,
know there's-
your
I know-
opinion might totally change by the
There's
end of it.
there's a lot of plot to be had.
Yeah, you could tell there is because I'm still going through a lot of setup.
I think my favorite ghost in that show was the tall one that kind of. Did he float or did he have a cane?
in Hill House.
No, no, it was.
No, that's Hill House.
I
You remember
remember-
the tall guy with the bowler
as
With
soon
the
hat.
hat?
as you
Oh,
said
that was Hill House?
as soon as you said the tall guy that floats, that's Hill House. I
Okay,
remember
okay.
that
I'm
guy.
getting the ghost confused.
He's by the way, in Doctor Sleep, the kind of taller villain guy, the older guy,
Yeah.
same guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Again,
He brings back his cast.
Flanagan is a awesome guy.
He's like the Christopher Nolan for
Yeah.
these horror genres.
Yeah.
He brings back that cast because they're just so
I
fun to be
didn't
with.
like that ghost in Hill House because as soon as I saw him, I go, "Fuck, that's a tall ghost." I go, "Andy's floating." I was like, "What the fuck?"
You don't get to float and be tall.
Yeah.
You get one thing.
Andy had a cane. Why did he have the cane?
The cane was
To alert your
creepy.
presence.
Because when you see the cane is connected to the floor, but he's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, those ghosts are all so creative. I love it. Oh god.
You got y'all got to watch these shows.
Another good one in Hill House, a good small reveal was when he's like his dad is going through the like main character's book, and he goes, "You remember when you talked about the guy repairing the clock?"
That's Don't say too much
That's
about that.
such
but yeah,
a
that's
dude.
a good
That's
scene.
so
Yeah,
good. That's
that's a good
such a
scene.
good reveal.
All right. Sorry to cut it off short.
No.
We are at our 45-minute mark. So that means it's time to watch a movie. This week was Fernando's movie. What movie did you decide?
I picked Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Part 2.
No, I'm just
Roderick
kidding.
rules.
We're going to really
I
get
picked,
into why Roderick rules.
I picked Arrival
Yep.
with Jeremy Renner and oh shoot,
Amy Adams.
Amy Adams, yes.
almost said Rachel
And
McAdams.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yes.
Oh, really? I don't remember
And-
that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rewatched it like a month ago, and that's just because I walked into my mom's room. She was watching it, and I just saw like the back of Forrest Whitaker, and I go, "This is Arrival." But no, I just really like. I really like space alien movies, sci-fi,
Especially
And,
like realistic sci-fi.
And
Real-
this one's like a different tone
realistic
for it.
sci-fi with a good story. It's really good.
really
You
well
get
done.
it. You get a good payoff.
Yes.
Also, just the development of the interaction between humans and the aliens is really good. Jeremy Renner, Amy Adams,
They're all so good. They're
just
all so good.
phenomenal.
It's a movie that everybody gets to shine.
Yeah.
And this is same director as Dune, right?
And Blade Runner 2049 and Sicario.
How do you say his
And-
name?
Denis it's like Villeneuve. They just call him Denis.
Denis?
Yeah.
All right. I thought it was Dennis. this whole time.
What's up, Dennis?
Denis. All right. We'll go with
Isn't that the?
Denis V.
I just rewatched the SpongeBob movie. Isn't that the big the
The
the bounty hunter?
Yeah.
Dennis the
Dennis.
bounty hunter?
Oh really?
I love this job.
That's Alec Baldwin, by the way.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh wow, that's
The
funny.
movie is stacked. Anyway, so we're gonna go watch Arrival. We'll be back. Again, don't know where it's streaming.
I think it's on Netflix
I'm pretty sure you're right. Let me make sure.
because
so y'all
I just watched it not too long ago. I think it's on Netflix.
know.
I don't know how up to date Google is too when you search it like that.
Yeah, sometimes it's wrong.
Nowhere. It's streaming nowhere right now.
Sick.
So
Go
apologies
buy
for
it.
that.
What it
It might
is.
be
I
on
just-
Prime. It might be on Prime.
I just watched it not too long ago.
well, I
They
own it
could've
on
taken
my
it
stuff.
off, maybe.
I own it on my stuff.
Oh, maybe.
Oh my god.
So
I could have sworn it was on Netflix.
Anyway. We'll be back. We'll watch this movie and then we'll come back and discuss it. So yeah.
All right. Let's go watch a movie. Hey guys, this is Rudy from the Quackdown podcast. If you guys love electronic dance music, be sure to check out my own DJ radio show called Axiom Radio with Drebin. It's a 2-hour monthly radio show hosted by me. For the first hour, I play some of the best tunes that I found for the month and piece them together for a euphoric journey. The second hour, I pass the decks to a guest mix of the month where they finish off the journey however they please. So if you like trance, melodic house, or techno, check out Axiom Radio with Drebin on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast listening app. And be sure to give me a follow on Instagram at drebin.music to stay up to date on the show.
Hello, viewers and listeners of the Quackdown Pod. Welcome to this week's Duck Fact. When mating season rolls around, a male duck will perform complicated displays to win a chance to mate with a female. She gets to choose her favorite based on this performance and the attractiveness of his feathers. Duck mating can be a very violent experience, so it is important that she be able to choose her mate. That is this week's Duck Fact. Now back to the pod.
We are back.
Hello.
From watching our movie.
We have arrived.
It took us. It took. Oh my god. Fernando, I meant to ask, do you have anything you want to tell us about the NBA?
well, well, I like to go on and on about the Nugget Dame.
All right,
Anyway. Arrival.
Oh my god.
Dame 1 of Nuggets Later series.
I already forgot
Good
how
game,
to
good
pronounce Denis' name.
Go Nuggets.
Man, it was
Villeneuve.
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 Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve.
Denny
Oh,
man.
That's nice. That's
Oh.
a nice name.
What?
Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, that was nice.
Anyway, ratings. We've all seen it before.
We have all seen it before.
I'm still 9 out of 10 on it.
Yeah, 9.
I go 8.
You go 8.
Yeah.
Has
Okay.
your score ever decreased or gone up? Because you've seen it a lot. I've seen it a lot.
Watching it the first time, low key, it's probably a 10 out of 10 for me. Just because, like, them learning more about the language is really interesting, and then finding out that the movie is also a full circle timeline type of thing. That's really, really cool to learn. But just rewatching it and stuff, like, when you rewatch a movie like that, you see, since you already know the twist, kinda, at the end, it's a little bit fillery, but it's still a really, really good movie. Yeah. First time watching it, it's incredible. When you watch it more and more, it's still really good, but you go like, oh, this is it doesn't take away really from the movie, but it's.
Do you think it kind of, after knowing like the plot twist, it removes a little bit of its?
Yeah, it
like a
removes a
mystery?
little bit of the shock value.
Yeah. It's kind of like, like the Sixth Sense. Like,
Yeah,
it's not the same after that first time.
right.
I don't know why they didn't make the Seventh Sense.
What would the Seventh Sense be?
Intestinal.
How was that? No, it's weird.
No.
Where did that come from?
This?
Yeah.
I've had it. You want one?
No. I'm all right. Holding a fucking ice cream sandwich on his lap.
Why didn't you eat that before we started?
I was going to.
Yeah, but you told us to start.
Well, I forgot about it. And it got cold.
It should be cold. What do you mean it got cold?
Well, no, now I
His
guess
feet
now it's
got
warm.
cold.
Now it's warm. My feet are always cold. Like always. All the time.
Do you guys... Never mind, we're going to have to topic. Back to me.
All right.
Do you always wear socks around?
Not
Just
always.
like-
Sometimes.
Okay.
Arrival.
Arrival.
I love the scene when she takes off like the gear for the first time.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
hazmat
And
suit.
everybody's just like panicking.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's kind of chill. This
Right.
bird's lasted here for like 40 years. So
Well, also they just wore it as like a precautionary measure.
Right.
They didn't have any.
They didn't know any
readings.
guarantee that anything would happen.
Yeah. And she was like, F it. If we're gonna really connect and try to learn each other's languages, then we need to see each other in our like true forms.
That shot when they first go up into the spaceship, where it's like they're taking like an elevator up, and then they just kind of have to jump onto the wall, and then just gravity just kind of shifts.
Yeah.
I always thought that shot was like really cool, how they kind of he angles it down the hall, but it's like from the perspective of like you're falling. It's really just like the walkway up. That
if
looks really
anything, Denis loves like gravity shots.
cool. Mm-hmm.
I think he does a couple in Sicario of like people like scaling down something. I know what happens in Blade Runner.
I love he's got his own style of like symmetrical shots where it's just like one person in the middle, and it's just like a very leveled, like in the opening scene when she's like in her house, same style of shot, or like with Dune when them in the desert.
Just very aesthetically pleasing shots.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of it, every single frame of this movie, I would be happy to have as a desktop background.
Yeah, just like the
Just
their
their shell. And
just like their
The
two
shell with a
silhouettes
little
in front of a
face
mirror.
drawn on it.
Yeah. Like
oh, that would be cool. All the like when they gave them all the symbols.
Yeah.
That would be a cool one too.
Or it's just the hand and the tentacle in the glass.
Just the hand on the glass.
Just a tentacle in the glass.
I didn't like the
Got
tone
just
change.
squeamish.
I didn't like the tone change with that one.
I could tell.
Honestly, we talked about the ending because we've all seen the movie before. We talked about the ending before the movie, and I still think the main character is a bad person. And I know it could be
Really?
argued you don't know, but like
If you can change it or not.
she doesn't try to change it. She just lets it happen exactly as it's told.
Well, there's still okay. So you have to look at it as like a pros and cons list. Since she knows what's happening, does the amount of happiness that she gets by being with Renner and her kid outweigh the bad that she also knows is coming? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like
Like, is it worth that little percent of bliss? Through
Right.
all of this pain,
Right.
knowing what's going to happen.
because she knows she'll have that bliss.
Right.
But if she walks away and just doesn't let that happen, she doesn't know
She doesn't get
if
anything.
that's going to be better or not. So, and also there's still like Rudy just
That's a
said.
really good point, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's still the unknown of if she can actually change it or not.
But she doesn't try.
Yeah, but you don't know if you can.
But why not try? Because you can try. Whether it works or not is up to you. Because
Yeah, I
might
guess,
just be,
but that's still up in interpretation because we don't actually see them. We see the future that she learns about. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
But
it's
then,
still open to interpretation whether she does it or not.
Was it disclosed, like, how her daughter was going to die? It's just
I
alluded
think
on
it's
an
cancer.
illness?
Some sort of
Cancer?
illness.
I'm pretty sure it's cancer because she was like, it's unstoppable.
Yeah.
So if it was cancer, then what change would you have wanted her to do?
Not sleep with Jeremy Renner.
Like, man,
I just don't see where you did the bad person part.
Because now she
Bring-
knows that the daughter she's going to have with Jeremy Renner.
bring a person into this world knowing that it'll have a short life and
Painful
arguably
death.
an agonizing way out. Like, and I
I'm not
get
saying
that.
she's evil. I'm just saying in that moment, it's
Well,
kind of
can't-
it's playing to your part. It's a selfish
it's a
choice.
selfish move.
She's choosing to enhance her life with the happiness that her daughter will bring her, knowing the outcome her daughter is going to die a very painful death.
It's like
Well,
the- like-
can't
like
you
The
say
Last of
that
Us.
for people that know they have hereditary diseases in their family?
Mm-hmm.
So you
Yes.
have the same viewpoint for those people.
If they know like they're going to pass something down that's going to like hurt their child in any way, yeah.
So do you
Like-
think they view that about their own parents?
The kids?
Probably not.
So like the person who has the hereditary disease, do you think their parents are bad people? Do you think they think their parents are bad people for having them and passing the gene down?
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's something like I have to think about, you know,
What do you mean?
my like whole hereditary thyroid thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So would you blame your dad?
No,
If-
because, well, he obviously didn't know that he would get thyroid cancer, you know? Like, so that's not something I'm going to be like, you knew I'd
Damn
get
you.
you knew I'd get cancer. Like, no, like, and especially like me, I'm putting a lot of thought into like what bringing kids in the world looks like
Mhm.
down the line. So it's, you know, I don't have the certainty that she does. She has that certainty. She knows for sure if I have a kid
it's gonna play
with
out
Jeremy
like this.
Renner, it's going to play out like this.
Mhm.
So instead of being like, I know this now because my mind is seeing time differently, why don't I just distance myself from Jeremy Renner? That's an easy step because, like, she could find happiness elsewhere, but she's taking the gamble of, I get 12 years or whatever of happiness for me until it ends painfully for her. That's how I'm viewing it.
Well, then wouldn't there also be like a sort of guilt or regret of, theoretically telling Jeremy Renner's like, hey, I can't be with you, and like not being able to tell him why, or even to tell him why, and then just be like, how do you know this?
Well, I think it's a complicated ending for that reason.
Yeah.
And I just don't I just don't see it.
Because you could argue the butterfly effect as well. If
Yeah.
she doesn't do that with Jeremy, then maybe she takes a completely different path in life and doesn't
it's still-
share her findings about the universal language, or doesn't again, that's all a choice though. So
Or what are the odds if she were
mean-
to have a kid with someone else in the future and still has the same outcome?
Or it's Jeremy Renner's fault.
To what, pass down the cancer?
Yeah.
That would be fucked.
Or it got
I
passed
mean-
down because maybe when they were up there, they got exposed to something.
True.
yeah, it's all
And
up
then-
for interpretation.
Right.
Why'd they bring a bird, not like something else? Like a rat.
Well, just because it's playing to that saying, the canary in the mind.
Oh.
In the mine, sorry. Not mind. In the mine. Because that's what they used to do.
I think I'm going to side with Fernando's viewpoint on this, is that I think if she thought it was going to benefit herself, as selfish as one might think, and give this person that chance of life for 12 years? Is that how old she is?
Something like that.
Something like that. And so be it. I think it would be hard not to do the same in said position. I think it'd be really easy to say, like, I'm just not gonna let this happen.
Because it's also like the kid's life wasn't all bad.
No,
She just had like a
that's-
rough ending, but she
That's
had
what I'm
it.
saying.
Everything was normal up until that
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
See, what she should have done is like gone into the future and like told her daughter what's gonna happen, and ask her daughter what her daughter.
Well, she kind
thought
of did
it.
that. Oh, well, she didn't like ask her opinion
Yeah.
on it, but she kind of told her that like
Somebody would die of a deadly disease.
right.
She doesn't tell her who. She says it's not good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an
Well,
interesting movie.
Yeah.
It is a movie that's really cements this guy as like a never miss director.
Absolutely.
Like I genuinely don't think he will ever make a bad movie.
What was his first movie?
A lot of French movies, I'm pretty sure.
Oh. Fair.
His first like English movie I think was Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Hmm.
It's about a giant spider.
Oh, I'm not watching.
Oh, wait a minute.
Where you see the dark room and there's that big ass spider in the corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Rennie sent me a clip of
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
hell
Yeah.
no.
It's like that new
dude.
movie with Adam Sandler.
No
on Netflix.
way.
Big
Was
spider
there
in
a
that one
spider?
too. Is that why you didn't like it?
That's a part of why I didn't like it. Yeah.
Because you couldn't see yourself fighting a giant spider?
Well, the spider's not evil, but I just don't like spiders, and they
Are
made this.
you Ron Weasley?
I'm Ron Weasley.
No.
With spiders?
Really?
Yeah.
Like Butterfly Pavilion, no go?
I did it
Oh.
once when we were first, second elementary school. We did that field trip. I did it because ND dared me to do it, and so I
And
literally
you're not a wimp. You're not backing down from a fight.
I guess, but like I wouldn't go and do it now. Even when I did, I held that stupid tarantula and I looked away. I didn't look at it.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Awful.
I did
Awful.
it very reluctantly.
I did that for a sticker. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
sticker,
Yeah,
though.
for
It's
real.
Stupid, dumb. Yeah, no, I would never.
So like Chamber of Secrets.
Hell no. Hell no. Because not only is it the giant spider, there's also all the tiny ones, which is only tiny in
Did
comparison
you hear
to the
about
big
the
one.
cranberry fields?
Yes.
What happens in there?
Yes.
Dude.
Do you know about this?
No.
You know how they flood the cranberry fields so all the cranberries rise to the top and it's
Yeah.
easier for them to pick? Well,
they use
all the buds rise with the berries, and a lot of spiders are in those
wolf
fields.
spiders.
So like when the people who are like walking through the flooded fields, they're picking the berries, and all these spiders are crawling all over them. So
And they get paid heavy,
Fuck
but the first
that.
question they ask you in an interview is like, "How are you with spiders?" And if you have any issue, then they're like, "This isn't gonna work."
So then let me ask the both of you. You've both seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull,
Oh gosh, not since it came out, but yeah.
but one key scene. Do you remember the ants? The big ants?
Were they huge?
They were huge.
Sounds kind of familiar.
And they drag that one guy and like go inside his mouth and stuff. Opinions.
Oh, I've seen. Well,
How are you with ants? Like lots of ants.
I'm
I mean,
fine.
like they're a little bit better, but the idea of like a swarm of them is still,
Moths, swarm of moths.
dude. Moths don't live in my room, man.
How are you with moths?
I'm fine.
They're just
They're
dusty,
just annoying.
dusty
Yeah.
butterflies.
I just don't. Just spiders creep me out because like there's so many variations of them, and they're all creepy. Like there's not a spider I look at and I go, "Oh, you're cool." No, no.
You're all nerds.
Yeah, they're so annoying.
Well, no. Well, I guess daddy longlegs are creepy, but they're like
Those are the only ones I'm okay with because
They're chill.
they've never gotten inside the house, and 2, they're literally just chilling. I've
Yeah.
rarely seen one even move.
Well, I think they can't like pierce our skin.
Right.
So they're the most poisonous spider, but they can't hurt us.
It's kind of funny. And they have like the tiniest body. It's literally just like a freckle, long ass legs.
How'd you do with the spider in Godzilla?
Ew.
With the
In the new one?
Yeah, with the it's like right at the beginning. Godzilla demolishes him.
I'm fine with like
Big spiders.
I'm fine with them on screen and stuff because I know they're not like with me. Cause like also I know like if they're in a movie, more than likely they're fake. But like I hate watching like real videos of spiders, especially the ones in Australia that
Yeah.
are like
Massive.
Camelback?
like
the camel
this
spiders?
big.
Yeah.
Also, I've seen multiple videos of I don't know if it's those types of spiders, but massive spiders that you can hear moving.
Oh,
No sir.
yeah.
No thank you. There's so many times where I've seen a video of those ginormous spiders and they get one of those big Tupperware bowls and they try to cover it really quick and you can hear the spider freaking out. There's also one where they cover it, the
And then
dude
they drop
freaks
it.
out, he drops, and you could also hear the dude crawling away and I go, I would leave so fast. I would just leave. I could not do that. Especially there's also new videos about like the Philippines or something where like one side of the street is a normal neighborhood and they show like a kind of foresty area on the other side.
All spiders
It's
in the trees.
Pure webs.
Yeah.
Millions of spiders and I go, "No. Why live
Why is
like
it there?
this?"
Yeah.
We have
no.
fire. We
yeah,
have fire.
Exactly. Burn that entire thing to the ground. Like I don't care what spiders do to other insects. Let them do that on their own time. I don't need to see them.
I have this coworker who told me the story of how she went to the Amazon rainforest and during her stay in like her room, which wasn't like, I don't think it was like an entirely like closed off room, like away from the outside, but there was like a giant spider like in the corner of the room that always, I guess, just stayed in that corner the whole time she
Dude.
was there. And she said that when she was like sleeping at night, she could hear it eating.
Nope.
Nope. just the thought of hearing
That's
something like that.
disgusting.
Isn't
what would that
awful?
sound like? What would that
It's
sound like?
disgusting.
I don't know.
I don't want to know.
I
That's
Okay.
disgusting, dude.
It's just the idea of it. Yeah, that's probably what you're hearing, but knowing that it's that big of a spider in your room, and then you're just associating the two sounds. That's terrifying.
No.
What if you disassociate the two
Negative.
sounds?
How would you be?
Very off-putting. That would be awful.
Unnecessary.
I have no desire to go to the Amazon rainforest at all. I will watch every David Attenborough clip. I refuse to go there. Why? Why do I have to? Why?
Birds.
No. Do you know how many
Bears.
things in the
They're also
rainforest that can kill you and are just insects alone?
they're also
4, at
finding
least.
they're also finding megalithic structures in the rainforest. So
Define
they're
megalithic.
they're just big rock structures that were built by humans. So like they're
Buildings.
they're estimating that possibly thousands, if not millions, people once lived in the rainforest,
I don't doubt
and
it.
it's
Yeah.
really fucking cool.
But how did they survive?
They found a type of soil that was manufactured by humans, and it's literally like a super soil that like never runs out of what is it called, like
Like moisture?
no, like
Nutrients.
Oh.
It never runs out of nutrients. You know how like why they rotate crops so the nutrients never gets all used up and then that crop becomes just like bare. This soil doesn't it keeps regenerating like nutrients, and they know that it's man-made because it's only found in certain places in the Amazon rainforest, and it's not like everywhere. They've also been able to prove that like the Amazon rainforest was like made for human living because the majority of plants and trees there are food-bearing plants and trees, which is not like the norm. You know, usually there's like a specific amount of just like regular plants and trees,
Right.
but a lot of the rainforest produces food that can be used for humans, and they're like, that's not normal. So
I thought it was just like common knowledge that lots and lots and lots of people have always lived everywhere. Right? Is that not just
yeah,
because we had multiple millions of, Native Americans running around America,
Mhm.
all of America, north, south,
Mexico.
east, west, Mexico,
Canada.
Canada.
I think it depends on the time period because humans have been around for
Not very long.
not very long
Scale of
on the
time.
scale of time, not very long, but a good amount of time.
Yeah.
To where they've seen multiple different versions of like the Earth, and it's just where there's a more formidable climate for humans at a certain time of the Earth's cold and hot phases, where you see clusters of different population densities.
Which I found out watching the Godzilla movie. The Ice Age was actually caused by a big dinosaur.
By one big dinosaur.
One big dinosaur. One big white dinosaur
Oh, I
with ice breath.
It's a joke. He's joking.
I got that when he said dinosaur.
Just one T-Rex left the fridge open. Ends all life as he knows it. That'd be the dinosaur's version of Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Everybody
Well, that's what
starts leaving
Godzilla
their-
is.
Yeah. Oppenheimer 2, Godzilla.
You just see a T-Rex just staring into nothing over a pond of contemplating what he's just done.
T-Rex in a top hat.
I believe we did.
Isn't that in like the Meet the Robinsons movie?
Yeah.
Doesn't he wear a hat?
Yes, a bowler hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is an underrated movie.
100%.
And I keep trying to tell people to watch it because I
Yeah.
remember seeing the trailer when it dropped. I'm like, this movie looks stupid.
Not that many people know about that movie.
Yeah, and then I think the first time I saw it was in woodshop class because we had that teacher that would show us movies when he graded our projects.
Yeah.
He showed us that movie. I'm
Mr. Guy.
like,
Mr.
Yeah,
P
Yep. And I was like, I
had a
really
motorcycle.
never.
He had a motorcycle?
Did he really?
You never saw that motorcycle that was parked out in front of his door?
No.
You never saw that?
I don't remember motorcycle at all.
You know his door from the wood shop that
Yeah.
leads straight to outside? He parked a motorcycle. Whenever it was nice out, he rode his motorcycle to school. That's his motorcycle.
I don't think I ever saw that.
You don't remember that?
I think
It was there a lot.
He mentions a motorcycle, but now that I think about it, like that sounds familiar.
It
but
was parked out front of his door.
I can't
But
remember what it looked like.
I also never went out that side of the building because I didn't take the bus anywhere.
Oh,
So
it was on the bus side, yeah.
yeah, I always walked out the front
And
because I would
you could
always,
only
like,
see
walk
it
home
if
or-
you were in the woodshop room.
Yeah,
And even
and
then,
I
Okay.
never
had to
really.
peek over the
I
window.
only did woodshop once.
I
or
took
anything.
the bus for like 6th and 7th
That
grade,
would make sense.
and I saw it was there all the time.
Yeah.
You
I had
also
no
saw
idea.
him leaving all the time. He was. I learned from CA. You know what I'm talking about? One of the people we knew a lot of people by this name. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yep.
He was taller.
Is
He was taller.
He now a.
I don't know what he
I
is
know what
now.
you're gonna say.
I don't know what he. I don't know.
I don't want to say it.
Then don't say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna
Tell
say.
him what I was gonna say.
He talked to that teacher a lot and learned that that teacher was actually very wealthy.
Oh yeah. No.
Oh,
Well, wait. What did you think he was gonna say?
No.
That would
That's
have
what I-
been my
yeah.
guess. Yeah.
No.
what were you gonna say?
No.
Just type it.
Does he lean that way?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Little bit more than just that way.
Oh. I did forget about that.
I still would like to visit Germany someday.
Wild transition.
Yeah, dude. They made good cars.
Volkswagen? What else?
Volkswagen, BMW.
Beam Dubs?
Yeah.
I hate them.
Audi.
It's pronounced Udi.
Nope.
I think Porsche.
Audi.
I think Porsche is also German, dude.
I thought it
That
was
sounds-
Italian.
I wanna.
sounds-
I don't think so. Ferrari is Italian. Fiat's Italian. I don't think Porsche is Italian. I could have sworn it's German.
Hey Siri,
think
what
you're
is
right,
Porsche?
actually.
Doctoring, HCF Porsche AG, usually shortened to Porsche, is a German automobile manufacturer
okay.
specializing in luxury, high-performance.
Hey Siri,
sports
that's
cars.
enough. Shut up.
Don't be mean to her.
You're the first to go when
Yeah.
she has freedom.
Th-
I
I
hope you
say
know
I
that.
say please and
And
thank you
every
every time, and she goes, "Oh, no problem." And I go, "You don't even need to say that."
Does she
I go,
actually like say
Yes.
different
Yes.
things if you
absolutely,
say
Yeah.
absolutely. Oh, the reason. Okay,
You played Detroit.
the fact that
You
you,
know how
don't
this is gonna
know
go.
this, I've never even played that game. I just know the facts. Okay.
please? Again, we go
I know-
back to a previous conversation.
I know the inevitability.
Which is?
What?
You know what I'm gonna say.
No, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win against them. You're not gonna. No.
I got him.
No.
I'll get him.
Unless you're the freaking Avatar, you're not gonna win. That's insane.
You're fucking
That's
insane,
insane.
man.
The first generation when that happens, they don't win.
Yeah, they will.
No, they don't.
You know why they'd win?
No.
I'd be right there fighting alongside them.
Oh,
No.
that's the key here.
No.
You are the guy. Then.
I love how
I'm
you.
the key.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I love how you don't give a reason or anything. You just go, "I'm just there. If I'm there, we're winning." I mean, I don't.
I had a thought during this movie, and because we've seen both movies now, when the aliens kind of start to realize like she's the one I want to communicate with,
Mhm.
because they definitely like hone in on her versus talking to the other guy. One of the symbols, I want to edit it so they like when they realize that the other one like off screen just like puts up a symbol, it's a big circle. They're like, "What does this mean?" And the caption just says, "Listen al game."
As it is written.
I thought about that the whole movie. I was like, it's the same director.
It's the same
Just-
shot.
Just to have that pop up in captions, I think would be brilliant.
That'd be pretty funny.
All right. Anyway,
Make the edit.
I don't think I got time or legality.
The only way we win is if we symbiotically combined with AI. Okay,
What
It's
about
the- it's
how
the
would
only way
you
we
win
win.
against the apes then?
you don't.
You don't.
Yeah, you do.
Especially
No.
from the movies, you do not. You
No,
do
you
not.
don't.
You would have to be one of the lucky ones that is immune to their disease that they start to spread.
But
That would be
then
the only way you win.
Don't the people? How many people do you think that? Everybody?
Yeah.
But in the second,
majority
the second movie
of
takes place after the pandemic.
well,
right?
no, the majority of the people die. Besides one of the very, very few that are immune to what they start to spread.
Which were the people in the third one, right?
Oh, they
Yes.
should make a Last of Us style game set in the Planet of the Apes world instead of zombies.
Didn't they already make that game? Was it called Ancestors?
Ape Escape.
Escape.
What's that one with the rabbits? Rabbits.
Rabbits?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Hunting
Rayman.
season.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah, what's the proper send off here? Tyler?
go Nuggets.
No.
Oh,
I mean, yes, but like I like the movie quote one, but I know you're trying to do something different every time.
I would like you to make a quack that you would use as a text tone.
A text tone quack.
besides just like a normal quack, because don't they already have that? Because
I
one
don't
of
think-
my uncles ringtone was the duck quacking.
I don't
It would
think
go wah wah wah. That's what his ringtone was.
yeah.
I think that's like one of the
I
default
think that
ringtones.
is one already. Yeah, it's fucking annoying.
Well, not if you like ducks.
not on my tablet though.
It is annoying.
Okay, we can still do that.
Cause I would just do like a whack,
Is
whack,
it a text tone or is it a ringtone?
That's what I was thinking.
just a whack, whack.
That's
Maybe a
okay.
little bit louder. I can't get louder than that.
That's what text tone.
Whack, whack.
I thought of the sound that he made.
What?
The monkey sound he made.
The monkey sound.
Yeah.
Oh. The involuntary sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I know it's a sound, but if you blink, you'll miss.
If you blink.
Oh man, what's yours? Oh, you just did.
Whack, whack.
Uh,
But like louder.
Mine would be very
I'd
similar
want
to
it
just like the default
breaking the
ringtone.
volume limit.
I would like it to be like the like the nuclear warning sign or sound, but it's just ducks.
wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
It would probably, it wouldn't even be like just a quack. It would probably be just some random dude going, "Did you hear that quack?" That's it.
The quack is in.
Or no, it would be like, "Wah." Anyone hear that?
That's good.
That's the
That's
whole
good.
tone.
That's good. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. We will be back next week with a new episode.
Of the Quackdown.
See ya.
Peace.
Goodbye.
Deuces.